Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites. Today I have an ink and volt planner to review. It is a bound book and it is beautiful. Ink and volt. I did review a 2017 ink and volt and then I gave it away for a giveaway, and then I wished I had it back to do a whole bunch of follow-up reviews through the whole year. But that was when I first started my channel, and I didn't know that I can't actually give away my planners unless I have more than one, because unless it's one that I won't need to come back to for lots of comparison videos and follow-ups and Instagram posts and such. So I'm really excited to have another ink and volt back in my hands. It is a really good small book for someone who is in an office environment, I think, or who needs a small book and they want their whole bound year to carry with them. It is 6 inches by 8.5 inches, okay? And it is about, it's between 3/4 and an inch thick. So, it is a really nice size. It's like a novel you would read. That's how I would compare it. It comes with 2 very nice grosgrain ribbon markers, really nice. So everything about this is really top notch. It is only $40 and it's made in the USA. It's 280 pages. It is bright white, smooth, high quality, ink proof, acid free paper. I got that off their site, but it does not tell me the pound of the paper or the GSM, but we will do a pen test in here. Okay, we already talked about the size, 6 by 8.5, and it says on here 1 inch thick. So mine was measuring right under an inch thick. They say on their site it's 1 inch thick. So let's go through this. They have made some changes to just the look of the layout from 2017, but the basic guts of the planner are the same. So in this color, this gray cover, which I love, it's like a material, linen feel cover. The inside end pages are navy blue, which I'm a huge fan of navy blue. I love the fonts that they've chosen. They're really clean and classy to me. So there is your cover page where you can write your name in. Then you have your entire year at a glance for 2018 and for 2019. Okay. Then you go right into your yearly focus. This planner has a big emphasis on goal setting and your focus for the year. So bring your year into focus. What do you want to leave behind this year? What are the things you want to learn this year? Books you want to read? How will you improve yourself in the year ahead? What would it look like if this year went perfectly? What would you have to do? So you have those boxes to fill that in on for your year. This is thinking about the whole year 2018 ahead. What is your 2018 theme? So that could be your word. That could be your mission statement for the year. That could be your theme for the year. My goals this year. So then you have, how many is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 lines here and extra note space at the bottom with a dot grid to fill in some of your top goals for this year. I also love that they number the pages at the bottom, because if you wanted to make note anywhere that something important is on a certain page, since this is 280 pages, I really think it helps that the pages are numbered. Okay, here is your monthly layout and what it looks like. It is very light. It is not harsh, dark print. You can add in any color or decoration that you want. It is a Sunday start for the month, but they gray out your Sunday and Saturday. So whenever planners are like that, it just makes me think a little bit more, it's especially focused on the business end, because it just helps your mind to see what are the work days in the work week. You have a focus box here and you have a note section here with a dot grid, but that's it. The month is written very, unobtrusive, and the year right there. The weeks of the year are also labeled out right there in your top of your Sunday box. The weeks of the year, your numbers are in the right-hand side of the box and they are very small. The inside lines on your month are dot grid, really, really tiny. And then the outside lines on the month, though, are just a normal line, not dots. And your note section is this really light dot grid right there. So it's a very clean, laid out feel. You can do anything with you want. Okay, then before each month, you have these same pages. January goals. So this is a goal planner that I feel like is very simple to use. If you are intimidated by some of the goal setting planners, then this one might be for you, because some of them are more complicated. Some of them are more intimidating. And this one is so simple. Okay, so it says January goals. This month I will, and it gives you plenty of room. It also gives you all this dot grid note room down here. Then you give yourself a 31-day challenge every month. For the next 31 days, I want to make this happen because, so there's your why. My plan of action is, so you're going to pick one thing a month to really focus on. So these can be all your January goals, but if you don't want to have that many goals, it can also be a January to-do list. You can make it into anything you want. Okay, then it says, I fully intend to commit myself to this for the next 31 days. And you are actually going to sign and date this to hold yourself accountable. And then you have your habit tracker down here for 31 days. Whether it's to read every day, whether it's to take 10 minutes to meditate every day, whether it's to give up caffeine for the next 31 days, or, to make it to the gym 5 days a week for the next 31 days, or to read your Bible and journal for the next 31 days. Whatever your goal is, you are focusing on one thing for that month, and you are holding yourself accountable to it, and you are committing to it. And you have a habit tracker there to keep track of it. And you have your signature there and the date there to remind you to hold yourself accountable. And this is every month you get the same thing. A fresh start means fresh possibilities. What are some ways that you can make the next 12 months incredibly awesome? Okay, that's probably only for January. We'll check out the other months and see. So that's for January, thinking of the whole year because it's a fresh start. Then you have weekly goals right here, January 1 through 7. So you have a monthly goal set page, which is a 2-page spread for every month. So that's for January. Then you have a 1-page weekly goal spread for every week, which also has a notes section over here. This is your weekly goals for January 1 through 7. Then you have a reflect and celebrate for the end of the week. And then you have a review. Think about your yearly goals, your monthly goals, last week's progress, and your 31-day challenge. How did you do that week on those things? And here's a notes section to check in and to ask yourself how you did on those things and to keep yourself accountable there. I love the reflect and celebrate for the end of the week because I think a lot of times we make lofty goals and we say we're going to do this, and it gets to the end of the week and we don't reflect. We don't look at how we did and reflect on that and or celebrate if we did amazing. Okay, here is your weekly layout. January 1 through 7. You have a combined Saturday and Sunday, and they are grayed out just like your monthly view. So Monday through Friday, you have your day divided into 3 boxes, but they are very light boxes. These lines are very, very light dotted gray lines. So they're not really obtrusive, for however you want to use this, whether you want to use it as a timed schedule, or if the 3 boxes are divided into different things like home to-dos, work to-dos, appointments, whether they're divided into, work appointments, home to-dos, and dinner, fitness, whatever else you're keeping track of. So there are pretty much, hundreds of ways you can use these boxes. They do label them out really lightly on Monday morning, noon, and night. But you, of course, that's so light, do not have to use that, and you could ignore that. It doesn't have to be for morning, noon, and night. They have really small written up here, January 1 through 7, and your weekly outlook. Now, there is a pretty big margin at the top here if you needed to note something else for the week, or notes up there, or if you wanted to decorate up there, or you wanted to put encouragement like a quote up there. So there's a pretty big margin up there you can do that with. Also, I wanted to make sure you guys saw this, that besides the page number, they have labeled what month you're on right there. I just like that because as you are flipping through like this, as I'm flipping, I can easily find a month. That is a really good thing in this bound book because I can easily say, oh, July, and I'm there. Oh, May, November. It's really easy to find that month because they have done that at the bottom of each page. I think that's a genius thing and really helpful. Okay, so your weekly goals, then you go to the next week. This is how it flows. And they have a little quote. Optimism puts everything in a new light. Okay, so every week is a different question and a different little focus quote. What are you excited for this year? Think of some ways in which you can start the year on a positive note. So for that week, that's your little thought. Of course, you can journal and use this to go on that thought, or you can use this page for whatever you want. But that is there to guide you if you want that. Weekly goals, reflect and celebrate, and then your review that we went over before. Then you go into your next week's view. And I went ahead and filled out a week for you so we could do a pen test and you guys could see how my week might look in here. So you guys know I would use my top box for appointments because that is what I do in my ERIN CONDREN right now. And then my other two boxes kind of just get my to-dos scribbled in there. My exercise and my temperature go at the bottom. It would be hard for me to get used to a Saturday-Sunday split here because a lot of times I want full days on those. So that is something I would have to get used to. But this is how my week looks in it. It takes pen very well. It takes my mild liner highlighter and Papermate Flare pens really well. You can tell, even those dark colors of Papermate Flare, there is no bleed through and there's really no ghosting problem at all, in my opinion. So this is really great quality paper, even though I couldn't find the pound weight of it or the GSM on their site. It's great paper. So it held up to the writing, the highlighters, the flare pens, all that really well. Then just to give you an idea of what the next week's quote is, either you run the day or the day runs you. And then it says, time management is an important skill. Make the most of the time you have by creating a plan for how you spend time. So every week is basically a different quote and a different little prompt for you to think about and write about there if you want to and respond to and maybe implement into your life to improve something in your life. Then you have your same setup, okay? Your weekly goals and then your week. Now, when you get to the end of the month, you go straight into a new month spread. So right here, you are ending January. You go right into the February spread. And same look, Saturday and Sunday's grayed out. You have a focus, you have notes. You do have a margin up here too, not quite as large as on the weekly page if you wanted to put something on there. Then you go into your February goals. This month I will, and all your empty notes section. Your 28-day challenge for February, because it's only 28 days. For the next 28 days, I want to make this happen because my plan of action is I fully intend to commit myself to this for the next 28 days. Signed and dated, and they're in your 28-day habit tracker right there. And that is how this planner flows. Then you go into your weekly goals. Same thing, a new quote, a new prompt. And let's go to the very end, and I will show you how it ends. So we have the very end of December here, December through January 6th, because December 31 is a Monday in 2018. So they give you the entire next week through January 6th. And then you have a looking back at the year section at the end, which I really like because I think people spend a lot of time at the beginning of the year on the, thinking of your goals for the year, your intentions for the year, your mission for the year, or your word of the year, whatever you do. But I think there are not many planners who have a section like this that focuses on looking back at the year. And I like to do this in my own journal, but I also really like these prompts in here to make you think about it. Because what's the point of being so goal-focused all year if you don't take time to reflect and learn from that at the end of the year? In order to have a crazy successful year, it helps to take inventory of the last year. I agree. By reflecting upon what went well and what didn't, you can gain valuable insights to help you with what's to come. What was the best thing that happened this year? What accomplishment are you most proud of? What were your goals this year that you achieved? Were there things you wanted to do but didn't? And then you have your 2018 achievements. Write about your achievements right after they happen. Include enough detail to learn from your success so that you can make it happen again. I love this because if you don't write about these right after they happen, you will not remember them. So as you have achievements throughout the year, or you reach your goal, or you just do something, like one of my achievements might have been from 2017, I finished painting my living room. And I might write about that and how I felt about it and how I made it happen around my schedule with my kids in a month's time. So then you put your date and you write about it. Include enough detail to learn from your success so you can make it happen again. I really like that. I like all these questions. In fact, I might borrow them at the end of this year and use that for my guide in my Lloydstrom journal, writing about this year. I like those questions. Then, so it's not too overwhelming. I want to also say that you're reflecting on the year, and the goals in this planner are not too overwhelming. It breaks it down really simple. It's only a 2-page spread of reflection, and they guide you through that. Now, if you have more achievements throughout the year than 5, I was going to say you could just continue achievements onto these 2 pages, because I think we should note even our smaller achievements, because looking back at it over the year, it makes you feel really good, and it pushes you and motivates you to do more and to do better. So I really like that idea to note those. Then you have several, like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, something like that, notes pages. They're dot grid. Okay. Then you have a little pocket back here. Now you would have to fold a piece of paper over in half to hold it, but you could definitely hold small things in that little pocket right there. And this is made of really hard cardstock, really nice quality. And here's what your tiny little dot grids look like. Again, they use the same dot grid throughout. It's a really light gray. I like what they've chosen to do that. And your page number. This book has 280 pages. This is a beautiful planner and really functional, in my opinion. I love this Ink and Volt. I think that there are so many people that it would be really useful tool for. And working on goals, this is one of the simpler goal setting planners in which there is still plenty of room. It focuses on still planning your entire week and your life, but includes those goals in there. I love the 2 ribbons because in this type of planner, I feel like it's a necessity. You need one, on your monthly spread that you're in. So I would definitely have one on the monthly spread that I'm in and on the weekly spread that I'm in. So you would just memorize your color. Like green would always be your monthly spread and gray would always be your weekly. And then you would just remember that. I also love that they're really good quality grosgrain ribbons because it's nice to grab onto, and you're going to be using this for an entire year. And I also love that they're long enough, because some ribbons are not made long enough where you can't, I've had this before in journal books, you can't grab them and pull it like this and open the page without losing it in the page as you go diagonal. These are plenty long where it's really comfortable. You can grab them, pull completely diagonal to open your page. And they're secure. I think they're going to stay in there all year. So these ribbons are amazing. I think everything in here is made quality-wise. The details were looked at. And I love the fonts. I love so much about this. And I especially love the simple focus on goals, because if I am going to be doing anything like this with goals every single week, it is going to be something that is simple like this. It's not going to be a complex system because that's just not my personality. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know what you think about the Ink and Volt. At $40, I really think it is a bargain. I think they've done a great job. And like I mentioned, quality all the way through. Now, they also have an undated planner in which they are about to release. So after this exact same look, this exact same layout, but it's going to be undated. And they are coming out with a whole new, like updated, undated version, updated, undated, very soon, like within the next couple weeks. So be checking their site. So if you already have a planner for this year and you're wanting something, you know, you can start mid-year but not waste weeks in, and something you can go into and try out and then stop for a little while and not have weeks wasted. You guys know I'm a big fan of undated planners for all those reasons. I've talked about them in all my passion planner videos about the perks of an undated planner. So if you're an undated planner person, they just didn't have it ready quite yet, but it was going to be ready within weeks of her sending me this. So check that out, that they also have an undated version. Okay, guys, that's all for Ink and Volt today. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy planning. I'd love to know what you think about this down in the comments below. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.